What's up, sickos, and welcome back to the Captain Thew channel. Today, we're going to be taking our first full-fledged journey into the magical land of Tromaville. Last time we watched Graduation Day, which was just distributed by Troma, but today's movie, this is the real deal. Get away! What we're going to be watching today is Class of Nuke High from 1986. This is actually the first movie in a series, which features this one, Class of Nuke High 2, Subhumanoid Meltdown, Class of Nuke High 3, The Good, the Bad, and the Subhumanoid, Return to Nuke High, Volume 1, Return to Nuke High, Subhumanoid Strike Back, and finally, Nuke High, Revenge of the Class of Nuke High. Okay then. Alright, I'll be honest, those last two, they weren't real. I made them up. But could you even tell? Like I said, this movie, which is also called Atomic High School, was directed by Lloyd Kaufman of Troma Productions and Richard W. Haynes, and both of those guys were the writers as well. Its tagline is Readin', Writin', and Radiation. I should also add that this is the kind of movie, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it before you watch this video. This is the kind of movie that you really need to experience for yourself. Aside from not wanting to spoil a movie that came out 39 years ago, I would not be able to put in all of the ridiculous lines and moments in one video about this. We'd be here all day. I mean, where am I supposed to put this?
What a hairy ass!
Or this? Or this?
God bless America, limp dick.
But hey, enough yapping. Let's head down to Tromaville. Our story begins at the Tromaville nuclear facility, where you need to put on a hazmat suit to even clock into work. A pipe bursts and then just all hell breaks loose right off the bat. But hey, it's all good because Captain Fatass over here says so.
I don't give a wet fart what you think.
What? Oh my god, this guy is aggressively fat. Scotty, what do you think about this?
He's fat!
For sure, man. For sure. Now that burst pipe, it's going to contaminate all the water in the town, and maybe even the stone sign in front of Tromaville High School. Oh no! This fucking dork, you can tell because he's wearing glasses, walks by at least 90 students just making out in the middle of the hallway. Alright, fair enough. And then he goes to get some drinking water. The water starts to turn green right as he's drinking it. Now we're in class and... what the fuck is that thing? Sorry, things, plural. Someone needs to get some order in here and... yo, chill!
Where's Eddie Harold?
Oh, he told me to tell you he was sick.
Well, do you know what's wrong with him?
Yeah, he's sick of this class.
I have no comment. That's just a funny joke. The principal comes on the loudspeaker and... that hair, oh my god. They're having a nuclear evacuation drill, something that I'm sure happens a lot here in Tromaville. Dewey, you alright there, guy? Alright, that's enough, that's enough. Yo, alright, I said stop. I said stop. Oh shit, World Star! Oh, alrighty then. Everyone watches on in horror as Dewey's face just melts right off. And then we are officially at Nuke High! They even have a little opening credits song that's all about Nuke High. How cute is that? The hazmat boys are all up and around the school, and that fat-ass Paley is over there telling everybody that this Dewey incident was caused because he had not one, but two microwaves in his house. You know, I actually know somebody who did not have a microwave until 12th grade because her mom thought that microwaves caused cancer. Maybe her mom went to Nuke High! Warren and Chrissy meet up in the hallway and... okay, hold on. For real. Why is everyone making out in the hallway? I mean, like, I guess they're being polite and they're sticking to the walls and stuff, but, like, guys, come on! Like, have some common decency, please. Then we have Eddie and Kathy, who go down to do their dirty work in the disgusting fallout shelter that would never be an appealing place to have sex. What the fuck? Kathy, she gets some slime on her, but it's not the kind of slime that she thinks it is. That's nasty, man. The gang quickly starts to realize that something has been going wrong ever since that nuclear plant opened.
Besides, even if there was a little radiation around here, who gives a shit?
Turns out those absolute freakazoids from earlier, that used to be the Honor Society. Please don't do that. Hey, you can't do that! Oh, classic maneuver! Oh, classic maneuver! The Cretans shake this guy down for some weed money and whoa! I forgot about that guy. They end up just beating the fuck out of this guy and... Classic maneuver? These guys open up their radiation case lunchboxes. That's actually kind of dope. And then this guy Ron gets distracted by the Cretans showing up, demanding some weed that he's been growing behind the power plant. How's nobody noticed that? But oh, look at that. There is nuclear waste dripping into the weed. Who could have ever seen this one coming? Eddie's trying to get everybody to show up to this college indoor beach party.
Bikini!
But Warren, he doesn't really want to go. Eddie, then he goes and he gets some of that atomic weed from the Cretans. This movie goes very quickly, in case you haven't figured it out by now. Now we're actually at the party, and let me tell you, this function is bumping, dude. This party has everything. It's got this chick drinking her own suntan lotion, this guy sliding down the drink table, this guy's making out with two chicks at once. Hold on, what was that first one again? Okay, so there's been this theme in the first 20 or so minutes of this movie where, like, everybody and their mother wants Warren and Chrissy to have sex. I don't know if that's why, like, everybody's been making out in the hallways and that's, like, symbolism or something, or maybe that's just me giving Troma way too much credit. They will say that the other one's shy and they don't want to be too pushy, but they're eventually convinced and drugged by the atomic weed! I'll just give you the SparkNotes version here, but they do have sex, and it is steamy.
Judy's just so tight, man. She makes a great trampoline for midgets.
What?
Hey, can you guys, like, get the fuck out of here, please?
Whoa!
Later on, Warren goes to bed and... Whoa! 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 No! Okay, now Chrissy's going to bed. Surely nothing weird will... Yo, no. No, stop! Stop! Please! Oh dear God, the power of Christ compels you! Oh, okay. Just a dream. Whew, thank God. Just a dream. Back at school the next day, and Warren and Chrissy still feel like shit after getting drugged by that atomic weed! One of the Cretans starts making out with the German teacher, and I don't know, man, this like converts her into being a Cretan. I don't know how this shit works. I just know that once she's a Cretan, she just ends up looking like Luna Vachon. Hey, did you guys know that Van Herd from Hell's Kitchen, season 6, the best season, is Luna Vachon's son? That has nothing to do with this movie, just a fun fact for you. Warren gets home still feeling all sorts of weird, just turning on electronics by walking past them and stuff. It's almost like he's become radioactive.
I'm waking up to ash and dust.
He just wigs out entirely and then passes out. The Cretans trick this old lady, and I just love how this one talks right here.
Gotta help me. My friend is having an epileptic seizure.
My friend, he's having an epileptic seizure! They take the pocketbook and just needlessly batter this old grandma. Okay, why not? They run into an alley and... Is that Warren? No, that ain't Warren. That's Atomic Warren! He makes quick work of the Cretans and... Hey, yo! Spike does manage to get away, though. But he couldn't quite tell who wasted Pete and Beethoven. But he kind of looked like Warren Brandt. I'm just going to put this scene right here by itself.
What's that sound?
Trauma. Chrissy starts moaning and stuff, and I don't know, it just kind of sounds like she has to poo or something. She runs into the bathroom and, oh no, not this shit again. This time, it's for real, and she throws up a tadpole into the toilet. Nasty. It eventually gets flushed down into the pipes and ends up getting dropped right into the nuclear waste. Of course! Eddie takes Warren down to the science lab to show him this brand new laser beam the school just got. This scene literally only exists to set up the finale of the movie. And dang-a-lang joke! The Cretans ambush this Rick Moranis-looking dork in the bathroom, but Warren comes in just in time and says, "Kid, just say no!" A brawl breaks out and Spike punches the wall not once, but twice before Warren starts getting his ass kicked, and the assistant principal comes in and breaks it up.
Drop that phone.
The Cretans get taken down to the principal's office and... I don't know why that's so funny.
Oh, say, can you see why the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed as the twilight slept?
I don't even know what's going on anymore. Back to the nuclear plant where dudes are just dropping dead left and right. But they were wearing their hazmat suits! The hazmat boys close off the entire east wing of the school because of, you know, the radiation and stuff.
Who gives a shit?
We go to the fallout shelter with this one guy and...
I can't breathe in this thing.
Okay, that's just a solid joke. The Geiger counter starts going nuts, sounding like Reggie Rock and shit. And this guy fucking gets yoinked right into the waste barrel. The Cretans, they're really struggling now that they don't have any prepubescents to sell their weed to, now that they got kicked out of school. But don't worry, because Spike has a plan to get back at Warren and the school, all at the same time. They're gonna kidnap Chrissy and...
What are you all trying to do? Attract attention?
God damn! Another solid joke! They get Chrissy and they corner Mr. Wesley in his office. The secretary comes in and, oh shit, spin move! They hit the nuclear alarm and everybody immediately panics and sprints away in chaos, which is exactly what would actually happen in that situation. That reminds me of a film I made in college.
Let's do this. Let the girl go, you creeps!
Warren runs back in after Chrissy and the Cretans, they follow, just causing all sorts of mayhem as they go in there. Man, it must have been so fun to ride those motorcycles around the hallways like that. Warren finally makes it down to the shelter and Spike threatens to cut off Chrissy's nipples. And then finally, we get to see the tadpole in its final form. The atomic tadpole! This thing looks fucking great, and it punches through Teru's head! Hell yeah! Man Boobs is the next one to get thwacked by the AT, just as Sergeant Cellulite over here starts walking into the building. Gonzo gets got next, then this guy gets his head ripped off, and then Hitler Stash and Muffy both get taken out off screen. Kinda disappointing that they don't get an on-screen death. Warren, Chrissy, and eventually Spike end up in the science lab, and then Spike goes into his bad guy monologue, and then just gets dragged away by the AT. He gets spiked right in the face like he's fighting a Resident Evil 4 Iron Maiden. And wait a minute. Spike? Spikes? I get it. The AT grabs Chrissy and then Warren suddenly sees the laser. He blasts that little bastard and... oh God, my eyes! Ah! Oh God! Warren and Chrissy get out just in time, but Fats Flounder over here, not so much.
Can I have your attention, please? Your attention, please. Tromaville High School will be temporarily closed for remodeling.
And that's how the movie ends. Except, wait a minute. Oh, looks like a sequel to me! And that's Class of Nuke 'Em High. Like we said up at the top, this movie is ridiculous, start to finish. You can really tell that this movie is from a bygone era because of some of the stuff that they're doing in this. You know, I think it's safe to say that you could not make a movie with a lot of the stuff that's in this movie today. I'm looking at you, Hitler Stash. It's movies like this and The Toxic Avenger that they're really just such an encapsulation of what Troma films were all about back in the 80s. Non-stop violence, nudity as much as possible, and just offensive behavior as much as possible. But hey, if you don't push the boundaries, how do you even know where the boundaries are? Let's talk some numbers right now. Unfortunately, I can't really do what I did for the last couple videos where I say X amount of minutes of this movie took place here. That just really doesn't apply for Class of Nuke 'Em High. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to count up every single what the fuck moment in this entire movie. Be anything from a ridiculous line, ridiculous shot, or just ridiculous moment in general. Anything that could have made me say, what the fuck is going on? And I am happy to report that in Class of Nuke 'Em High, there was a staggering 197 what the fuck moments. And with this film being 85 minutes long, that comes out to an average of 2.3 what the fuck moments per minute, or one what the fuck moment every 25 seconds. And because of all that, I'm going to rate Class of Nuke 'Em High 2 atomic weeds out of 5. Thank you everyone once again for tuning into the Captain Thew channel. Like we said at the top, there are quite a few sequels to this movie, and I actually haven't seen any of them. So maybe we'll look at those in the future, but I know what's coming up next, and I think you're gonna like it. It'll be a little summer-themed episode now that school's out. Now, normally this is when I say there's always more 80s horror movies to watch, but I'll give you a little spoiler alert. Next time, we're gonna be traveling out of the 80s for just a little bit and traveling into the 2010s. So, for now, I'm going to say there's always going to be more jank-ass horror movies to watch, and I will see you for the next one. Peace out, sickos.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my ass and I slap my nuts. I'm breathing in